Welcome back to Golden Goose and my Road to Glory series that follows James Brown at halfback for the Auburn Tigers. Now, if you don't know who James Brown is, he's only the great-grandson of NFL legend Jim Brown. Obviously, he has a lot to live up to, and today he is getting his first ever career start in a game that has high importance against Texas A&M. Texas A&M is ranked number 1 in the nation, and we're traveling to Texas to play this game. Now, they're actually just as good as us, literally, on paper. I mean, just a little bit better on the offensive side of things. But otherwise, this is going to be a really close game, but Kirk is siding with Texas. Now, this is a conference matchup, and we're 1-2 in the conference this season. Our 2 losses come in conference play, so, I mean, beating Texas A&M, it'll help. It'll actually maybe bring us somewhere in 5th or maybe even 4th place, depending on how people play out their week. So this kind of is like a last-second hope for us to be anything in this conference this season. But here's how the teams match up number-wise. 91 overall Texas versus 88 Auburn. Now, their offense is a 95, ours is a 88, but their defense is actually a little worse than ours. Ours is a 90, theirs is an 88. So, I mean, this is going to be extremely close. These two teams are very evenly matched, and I can't wait to see James Brown have his first career start. To start this game off in a sold-out stadium, we will be returning it with James Brown in his first official start. He drops the ball, now he's leading the blocking effort. Picks up a nice block, and we're out the 23. That was very lucky. Not a good way to start off your first start, though. Now, this is a nationally televised game. The nation is watching James Brown and his first career start here at Auburn. He is a freshman still, so plenty of time to make something happen. His first carry goes for -3 yards. That's not how he wanted to start off. Brown needs to perform in this game or he'll lose his starting job, and it's intercepted on the screen. The quarterback forced it, and that one's a turnover. Texas A&M scored on that, obviously had great field position. Brown is still on the special teams unit for the field goal blocks, and it's 7-0. And this return is going to be by Walker. Brown leading the blocking effort, and he whiffs the block. If you're Brown, you know you have to have a decent game today. Obviously, letting this true freshman start over some of their backs that they have, some of the more experienced backs, I mean, that's kind of a risk that this head coach is taking. So if James Brown doesn't perform, you can best believe he's going to be on the bench again. The running game for Auburn this year, though, hasn't been electric by any means. I mean, if Brown can get 70 yards, that's probably one of the best performances this running game has had all season. So if he can do something like that, then he might be looking at securing the starting job for the long haul of the rest of this season. The only thing I think you have to worry about with James Brown is his stamina. You know, he's a big boy, 6 foot, 230 pounds. He gets tired quickly, and right there he loses 4 yards. That was the quarterback choosing the wrong option on that option run. Brown was totally smothered. Let's see what happens here. And it looks like Brown doesn't have it, but he had a hole. He could have been gone. 4 carries, 7 yards total so far in the first quarter. 7-0 for Texas A&M. Auburn still driving. And it looks like that one's complete, and that's going to be a new set of downs. Hunter's 5 for 6 today, 48 yards. He does have that interception. And it looks like he's going to try to scramble with it. Nope, he threw it away. A 12-yard reception. Let's see what Brown does here. He's open in the end zone. Nope, no pass to him, but it is a 7-yard touchdown reception for Gaston. 7-7, Texas A&M does nothing on their second offensive possession. Brown trying to hype up the away crowd here. Let's see what happens. Deep punt. Brown is going to return it, taking it from the 26. He dropped it, and it's picked up by Texas A&M. That's his second muffed return of the day. Trying to prevent 3 points here. A&M looking to go up by 3, leading 10-7 if they make this field goal. It's a relatively short one, and it's going to go in. 2 big mistakes by Brown on special teams so far. One was recovered by Auburn, but you just got to be better. You know, he was looking to be returner of the year, but with fumbles like that, that's not going to happen. Let's see what Auburn decides to do on this drive. Are they going to stick it to the ground at all? Not a lot of success there all season. Obviously, they do have a very talented quarterback. And Brown is going to muscle his way forward for 4 yards. 5 carries, 11 yards for him today. Only a 2-yard average. I mean, nothing electric here. Man in motion. This is an option play. They pitch it off to Brown. Brown tries to break one. He only finds 1 yard, though. 3rd down and 6. Texas A&M crowd getting loud. Brown back to block, and that's an incomplete pass. And it looks like Texas A&M either had a turnover or just decided not to punt the ball because Brown's just back out on offense, didn't have to go for a return. Oh, breaking multiple tackles, but still losing 3 yards. And that ends the first quarter. A&M leading 10-7 over Auburn. 7 carries, 9 yards today. I mean, NFL legend Jim Brown is this kid's great-grandfather, and he just hasn't looked like an NFL legend's lineage just yet. This kid could easily lose his starting job after this week. Oh, Brown missed that. He was wide open. A&M looking to take a 10-point lead. Brown looking to get involved on special teams. Hasn't been very involved in the offense. If you're the head coach of Auburn, you have to be thinking maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you let Brown develop another season or so, and he can get his start his sophomore year or maybe his junior season. Because I just don't think this kid's ready just yet. 1st down and 10. Let's see what the Tigers decide to do here. A little bit of play action, looking to take this ball to the air, and a little bit off the mark there, incomplete. 2nd down and 10, 5:30 to go in the first half, 17-7. A 10-point deficit, and just not on the same page at all there. 1 for 3 on 3rd down today. Auburn needs to improve if they want a chance against such a powerhouse team. And it looks like Brown was open there, but the quarterback's lost some confidence, but hits a man in stride at the 30, and he's got wheels. That's a 78-yard touchdown reception. Peter Hunter, he threw that one. It was a dart. And now Auburn's down by 3. A&M quickly answers back, looking to take another 10-point lead. And it is good. Brown from the left side. This is where he's most dangerous. Trying to get people to move over to this left side with him. And it looks like he did, but doesn't have the wheels to get broken free. And in this one off, no, he's keeping it. It's a quarterback option, and that option was just shut down. And they took Brown out. He must be just a little bit tired, or they're just not looking to use a halfback of his caliber right now. Now Texas A&M wasn't able to do anything on offense. It's 24-14, 2:32 to go. If you're Auburn, you have to give the ball back to Texas A&M to start the second half. So, I mean, you have to be looking to score on this drive. And Brown pushes forward to the 40. If you don't score on this drive, you would have to be nervous that you could take a 3-score deficit if they were to score to open the second half. So, I mean, you have to be looking to do something and something big. Brown bounces off of one of his blockers, and beautiful running. 11 yards. That's his biggest run on the day. I mean, the kid shows potential. You can clearly tell he's been improving since coming out of high school. He came in as a third string back, and now he's got that starting job. So clearly in practice, he's able to open things up, but we just have to see that in the game here. Hunter looking great at quarterback today. You can see why they've really went to the air game most of this season. I mean, haven't been very successful in the SEC gameplay, though. They're 1-2 in the SEC conference this season. Auburn didn't score, but Texas A&M did. 32 seconds left to go before the end of this half, and it's 31-14. This one's kicked deep to Brown. Brown will return it, and it looks like he's trying to work that left side again. I mean, he's usually pretty successful on this side of the field. We've seen him multiple times this season take one back, and it looks like he has an opportunity here. To the 30, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. A touchdown! They're not going to catch him! 103 yards! We've seen him do it before this season, and he does it again! That's going to keep Auburn in this game! And Texas A&M does nothing to open up the second half. Now you're only down by 10 if you're Auburn. If you could score on this drive, you're right back in this game. Here in the third quarter, the nation watching. James Brown, 103-yard kick return. That's the only thing that might be his saving grace today. 1st down and 10. Let's see what they do here. They've been successful through the air today, and quarterback option. He's going to keep it and go up the middle for 7. 2nd down and 3. They're going to the air here. That was a very quick release. 3rd down and inches. Now, this is why you have a man like James Brown. For a situation like this big boy could definitely lower his nose and push his way for the 1st down. Let's see what they decide to do. And they let the quarterback keep it there. Brown had a hole. The quarterback gets tackled for a loss. I mean, play calling, I just don't know why you wouldn't just give it up the middle there to Brown. He is a big back. You trust him to be your starter, but yet you give it to the quarterback and let him keep it. They're down 17. You're going to need a miracle if you're Auburn. Not a lot of time left in this game. Obviously a quarter and a half roughly, but it's just not looking good for them because they haven't been able to really produce on offense. Brown's biggest run of the day was 11 yards. Hasn't really ran it too much today. They're doing a lot of option running, which, you know, Brown is definitely not an option back. Right there, the quarterback keeps it for 1 yard. They're treating Brown as if he's some type of speed back, which, I mean, he just isn't. That's not who Brown is. But right there, he does find 10 on a sweep play. I'd say he's been as productive, or maybe just a little less productive, than their average halfback this season. We haven't seen a lot of productivity from their halfbacks. A lot of games ending in 30 or 40 yards rushing, and they're one of the worst rushing teams in the NCAA, but we thought Brown would have maybe a little bit more juice. Moving the ball downfield, looking to make this a 10-point game. I mean, if they're down by 10 and they can get a stop and go down by 3, then I would give them a chance at winning this game. 2nd down and 7. Brown averaging right around 3 yards per carry right now. Nothing explosive, but I'd say productive at least. Brown cuts way out and loops back in, making it 3rd and inches. Nice 7-yard carry. At the 1-yard line now, 3rd and inches. They brought Brown back into the game. He was on the sideline for a good 4 or 5 plays. Let's see what they do here. Brown's going to take it up the middle. That's what you should have did on that 3rd down conversion a while ago. Brown gets a touchdown, and it is going to be 28-38. But their defense cannot hold Texas A&M. It's going to be 45-28, another 17-point deficit. I'm afraid Auburn's running out of time. Texas A&M is close to doubling the amount of yards Auburn has today on offense. Just going to show you that Auburn hasn't been productive on offense today. They have 1 special teams touchdown, 1 1-yard rushing touchdown by James Brown. He has 2 of their touchdowns. And at this point, I think you have to say goodbye to the running game and really look to the air here. 6:24, you need 17. You do have 3 timeouts, but, I mean, it's going to be tough. And nothing going there. I think he's just throwing it out of bounds. Auburn didn't do anything with it, but they have held Texas A&M. And it looks like this is going to be a deep punt that's either going to pin them far back or it's going to bounce out of the end zone. We'll have to see. And it looks like Brown's going to let it bounce out of the end zone. And it does. This is a do-or-die drive. If you don't score a touchdown here, you could kiss your chances of winning this game goodbye. And Brown was wide open to the left side, just showing the lack of quarterback trust there. 3rd down and 1. What are they going to do here? I mean, just try to get the first down with Brown up the center, I'd say. I don't know why you do anything else. Brown still on his feet, breaking 2 tackles. He finds the first down. Looking good today, about 3.5 yards per carry, 14 carries for nearly 50 yards. I'd say maybe you stick with Brown moving forward if you're the Auburn Tigers because, I mean, he's doing just as good as your current halfbacks have been, and he's only a freshman. So, I mean, you let him develop, and you might be looking at some big performance in a couple of years. Brown wide open up the left side, literally could have been a touchdown. Still not thrown to. Lack of quarterback trust again. 1st down and 10, keeping Brown in the backfield. Picks up a block. That saved the quarterback's life there. And that's a big reception there inside the 10. 35-45, a 10-point game, 1:49 to go. So if you're Auburn, you got to go down and score and then get the onside kick. I mean, you have a chance of winning this or tying it up at least. But it's a slim chance at this point. From the 21, Brown's going to return. And he's getting a caravan of blockers in front of him. He's got some speed. He's way gone to the 39-yard line. Correction, he's at the 41, but beautiful return. That sets you up. That gives you a small gleam of hope. Let's see what they do here. Definitely probably want to keep it in the air here. And Brown again calling for the ball, not getting it. 1st down and 10, and they are at the 20-yard line. Brown's back in the game in the backfield. He's wide open. He catches it. He pushes forward to the 5. They're in the hurry up. Finally, the quarterback takes another chance on Brown, and he doesn't let him down. He pulls it in. He has let him down twice today, so, I mean, I could understand why the quarterback might be a little weary of throwing it to him. That's a sack. You can't take one of those. They're going to use a timeout. 15 seconds to go. No timeouts remaining. Texas A&M, they're acting like they're going to punt this one, but I don't think they will. 8 seconds, 45-42 in this barn burner. Texas A&M is going to clutch up and win this and remain number 1 in the nation. But this just goes to show you, Auburn, I mean, they might have something. They're 1-3 in the SEC this season, but they proved to us that they can take on a number 1 team like Texas A&M and actually make it a good game. And with James Brown at halfback, this freshman, I think we might actually see something. Play of the game was an incomplete pass to Brown, but he's slowly getting better. If he can get better in the passing game and actually become a bigger receiving threat, I think this team has a lot of potential. Here's the game stats. 14 carries for 47 yards. Rawls came in with 3 carries for 12 yards. A little bit better average than Brown, but not as many carries. Now, after contact, Brown had 21 yards, showing the kind of bruising runner he is, and he had a touchdown. So, I mean, I'm pretty impressed with this performance against the #1 team in the nation. I can't wait to see what he does next week. In this next matchup, it's a battle of the 4-3 records. Now, Florida Atlantic has been doing just as well as Auburn on the schedule this season, but this game isn't Auburn. Auburn's a bit better on paper. Kirk's going to side with us in this one. Skill upgrades. Let's see if there's any that we really want. Spectacular catch, spin move, juke move. Don't want that. Look at this. Clyde's slide. Improving acceleration, elusiveness, catching, and spectacular catch. Not really giving us a big overall boost, though. Here's how we stack up number-wise. 88 overall versus 75 overall. Their offense is a 77, and their defense is a 76. Here in Auburn, the home crowd is sold out, and they're loud and supportive. Even though we're 4-3 and 1-3 in conference play, it's time to really turn things up here. And Brown trying to get to the outside, trying to find space, gets to the 33. Now, obviously, expectations are a little bit higher for Brown in this game. People would like to see him with over 70 yards carrying. He had nearly 50 yards last game against the #1 ranked team in the nation. So, I mean, we're going to be watching and seeing what kind of running he can produce here. And on his first run, that's 8 yards. Very productive there. Now we talked to the head coach of the Tigers. He said they're going to try to get the running game a bit more involved in their game plan with Brown. Obviously, they still have a relatively young team, a lot of sophomores, juniors, and Brown is a freshman. So they're going to have a while with this team to get good. Brown loses 2 on that carry. They've been a primary passing team, and I think incorporating the run smart, especially because Brown's only going to get better. And, oh, he couldn't make the catch. He's not on the same page as the quarterback again. Wait, what's this? They're keeping the offense on the field. They're hurrying up. It's like they saw something that warrants going for it on 4th down and 4, and they're in territory here. Brown catches it. He trusts Brown, even though Brown completely misread that route, but Brown gets the first down from the 35-yard line. They sat Brown, let him rest up a bit. 3rd down and 4. Let's see what he does here. 3rd down and 4. I mean, they haven't converted on 3rd down today. Brown catches it. He's becoming more of a threat in the passing game. Down at the 21. Wow, you know what this is going to do for the Auburn Tiger offense. If you have a running back that can catch like this and get open, you're going to really be looking at somebody that might be able to change the dynamic of your offense. And it looks like Brown's trying to pick up blocks here. And, oh, my God, that is a huge run down to the 1. Auburn got in. They scored. It's 7-0. Brown is on the punt return side of things right now, trying to pump up this Auburn crowd. Keep them into it. They want this win. They want to improve to 5-3 on the season. Up and to Brown. He's got it. He's cutting, making some people break their ankles here. And he's into FAU territory after a 22-yard return. Browns only ran the ball twice today. I mean, they're not necessarily improving on trying to run it with him today, and that's kind of disappointing. I really wanted to see this young guy and what he could do. I mean, if James Brown develops how Jim Brown did in the NFL, you're definitely going to want to give this guy more reps, and if he doesn't get them, I don't know. I mean, if I was James Brown, I'd probably be looking to transfer if I'm improving and not seeing more reps and more attempts to carry here. Let's see what happens here on 2nd and 10. They're in striking distance right now. And he got caught up there. The screens never work for Auburn. 3rd down and 10. I mean, you're not really in field goal range just yet. Let's see what they do. Bombing it deep, and oh, it was dropped. It looks like Auburn's deciding to go for it here. 4th down and 10. I mean, this would be a very long field goal. Yeah, this would be like a 50-yarder, maybe 51-yard field goal. So, I mean, it makes sense. Oh, a little misread. It hits him in the ankles. And it looks like FAU is going to go for a field goal here, trying to make it a 7-3 game. It's a relatively short one, looking at maybe 32 yards, and it's up and barely good off the upright. And this kick's going back to Brown on the right side. He does like being on the sideline over here. Oh, nice cutback. He cut in, cut out, and this kick could be gone to the 50, all the way to the 46. He is probably one of the most deadly kick returners in the NCAA right now. I mean, he's NFL ready for kick returning. He's had 4 or 5 kick return touchdowns this season. Ooh, almost intercepted there. 4 for 11 for Hunter today. Not very successful through the air, and I'm really surprised not to see more running attempts with James Brown. 2nd down and 10. Brown is open over the middle of the field. He's got the first down. That's his 3rd reception of the day, and that one goes for 19. And they took Brown out. I don't know if he was shaken up, but it's 10-3. Brown pumping this crowd up. The punt is off down at the 20-yard line here, and he drops it. He drops it. He did that last week, and he does it again here. He's looking to run before he can get under it, and it's now going to be tied up at 10 after that muffed punt. And this kick return is going far to the right side to Brown. Brown loves being on the sideline. He loves going sideline to sideline, and we've seen him find success, but there he's swallowed up. Still only 2 carries with Brown today. It's a little ridiculous to see such a back of his caliber be utilized so few times in a game. Brown up the sideline, a big reception. He breaks like 3 tackles to find 13 yards. That's his 4th reception of the day. We did not think Brown was going to be utilized this much in the pass game. 53 yards in receiving. There's only 26 other yards between all the other receivers. And there's Brown again up the center on a screen play. 4th down and 1. What do you do here? Oh, it looks like they're deciding to go for it in their own territory, nearing the 50. Oh, and off the mark there. Oh, Brown can't believe it. FAU has scored, and now they put Auburn in a deficit. 16-10, looking to make it 17, and they do. You've made some mistakes if you're the Auburn Tigers. You haven't really ran the ball and developed any type of running game today, which is a huge mistake, I believe, because it just makes it easier to stop you. And there's Walker breaking one to the 37. Tigers coming out, and it looks like they're looking to pass it again, and that's Brown on the left side of things, but he's only going to find 4. 6 receptions for him today. He's having a great game through the air. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities to run the ball, but just proving that he's more of a double threat than we thought at this point. And there we go. Inside the 50 down to the 45. Auburn scored a safety. It's 12-17, 2:50 to go. Short kick, and that goes down to the 37. Brown has been in and out of the game quite a bit today. It's just like he gets too tired or maybe gets shaken up after some of these receptions. But I'd like to see him in the game more. He's just not getting the kind of rushing attempts I would like to see from him. And the quarterback takes a huge risk, almost intercepted. Still only 2 carries for James Brown, and we're almost at halftime. Just what's going on? He's your starting running back. You would expect at least 15 carries a game from him, even if the team is primarily a passing team. 3rd down, 11 yards to go, 2:23 and left in this half. Brown's going to catch that one, but that's not going to really go anywhere. 17-12, and FAU is going to kick it back to Auburn with 1 minute left in this half. Auburn has all 3 timeouts. This one is going to be shallow enough to return. And it looks like Brown's going to try to cut up, but he gets down to the 25. You can't be too happy if you're James Brown. 2 carries in this half of football. I mean, you're the starting halfback, and it's almost like you're the second string back coming in for relief. I get it. The Tigers are playing down right now, but it's not like the game's almost over. You can still stick to your game plan. So it just goes to show maybe in their game plan there was no running. If Auburn can score here, I mean, FAU does get the ball to start the second half, so a score here would be nice. A touchdown would make it a 19-17 game. Maybe you go for 2 and try to make it a 3-point game. That's caught, and it's brought down to the 34. 27 pass attempts in this game, only 2 rushing attempts. Very, very sad for the running game of the Tigers. And looks like Brown's going to get involved again in the passing game. Brown has 9 receptions in the first half of football here for the Tigers. That is a lot. That is ridiculous. I mean, he keeps this path that he could have 20 receptions by the end of this game. Wide open Auburn Tiger receiver inside the 5. They're hurrying up. Down at the 4-yard line. Let's see what they do here. 32 seconds to go. They do have a timeout left. And Brown staying back to block, giving this quarterback plenty of time. And it's thrown out of bounds. What are they going to do here? You're about 4 yards out of the end zone. You ran it twice today. Are you going to give it to Brown and see if he can muscle his way forward for 4 yards? I mean, 4 yards is a long muscle run, but he does it! They give it to Brown. He bounces off of a tackle and gets the touchdown, and that gives Auburn their lead back at 18-17. 19-17, 2-point lead. FAU doesn't score to start the second half off. They're going to be punting deep in their own territory to Brown, who is pumping up this Auburn crowd. He wants them loud here, and it is loud. 6:07 to go in this third quarter. It looks like they're waiting. They want to wear some of this clock away. They want to get this game over with, maybe. I don't know. 4, 3, 2, and they snap it last second. This punt is around the 50, maybe the 49, you could say, of Auburn territory. And Brown is going to cut up the reverse side of the field, find 12, be downed at the 36. Brown carried it 3 times for 10 yards in the first half. He had 9 receptions. Let's see if the Tigers with a lead kind of change their game plan just a wee bit. And Brown's going to lose 2 yards on his 4th carry of the game. 2nd and 12. What are they doing here? Trying to go to the air, it looks like, and they do. That's a complete pass, 3rd and 6. And Brown is staying in the pocket to block, and that is swatted down, and what are you going to do now? They ended up punting it away. FAU is going to have to punt it away too. This is such a close game, 17-19. I don't think this is the game anyone expected here from Auburn. I mean, only 4 rushing attempts for their starting halfback. He's lost yards on 2 of those 4. He's still positive on the day, but man, you can't blame him either. You know, you only get 4 attempts with the ball. You know, you can't make a lot of stuff happen in 4 attempts. He has been utilized in the passing game, 9 receptions in the first half. Hasn't had any yet in this half. And it looks like they're going to get rid of it, and it's down at the 26. 33 passing attempts with the Tigers today. Oh, and that one was off the mark. I mean, Brown was looking to cut up the field. Still 19-17 halfway through the 3rd quarter. This has been a very boring second half. I mean, if you're a fan of football, you might be snoozing right now, maybe taking a small nap. And it looks like Brown's going to get this one and try to take it back, but he's going to get swallowed up after an 8-yard gain. 1st down and 10. It's a play action. I mean, I don't know why they would fall for that. It's not like they've been running the ball a lot today, but that is a completed pass to Stewart. Now, you'd have to think if Brown gets better and better throughout this season with the little carries he gets, he's going to have to want to be looking at a transfer just because there's not much he's going to be able to do otherwise. And Brown, oh, he was open. I thought they were going to definitely hit him up the middle of the field. It's so weird. 4 carries, 9 receptions. He hasn't done anything in this half. I mean, it's odd to watch football like this. Let's see what they do here. Man in motion to the left. And he comes back to the right. Brown's taken down. It's an option play. The quarterback kept it, and he found the 1st down. And Brown is going up for a reception. Oh, I thought he was going to beat him up the middle of the field. That is deflected, though. 2nd and 10. Inside the 5 right now, looking to score and go up by hopefully 9. Auburn hands this one off to Brown. No, he doesn't. Oh my God, Brown could have had the touchdown, but instead they get nothing. Hunter's not making good reads. 3rd down and goal. I mean, you're 5 yards out. I don't know if you can muscle your way in from this point. Brown does have a rushing touchdown in this game, and he gets a 2nd one. He didn't even have to touch anyone. He goes right up the hole. I just don't know why the Tigers don't utilize this kid more. He's got great vision of the field. FAU's going to be punting it away. It's 26-17, a 12-point game. Brown is hyping up this crowd. They're back alive. I mean, running games are fun to watch, and you haven't been utilizing your halfback today. Obviously, a lot of people are excited about this kid. Jim Brown's great-grandson here, and he's only proved he can be so electric in the kick return game. You have to give him a bit more carries. I'd say at least 15 a game if he's the starter. 1st down and 10 in FAU territory. They might be looking to kill clock here just a little bit. Work that game clock. Brown's going to find 4. Nice running. I mean, as this kid's speed improves over the course of this year and next year, I think you're going to really see him break some big runs because he does have such good field vision. 8 seconds left in this quarter. Brown's calling for it. He wanted it, but nope, not going to get it. 3rd down and 3, and that should end this quarter. After 3 quarters of play, Auburn leads Florida Atlantic 26-17. And a punt to James Brown. He's under it, not looking to move before he can get completely under it. And he breaks 1 tackle and finds 11 yards. I mean, you got the lead. If you're Auburn, you're up by 12. I would be looking to kill a couple minutes off this clock. Try to keep the ball on the ground. Let's see what they do here. And the Tigers are running the option. Quarterback keeps it, breaks 1 tackle, and gets 6. The quarterback has more rushing attempts than the halfback today. He's got 7. And no, Brown is not going to get that one. It's another option play. The quarterback keeps it and finds the 1st down. Okay, it looks like Brown is leading the blocking effort here. And that's going to be a 5-yard carry by the wide receiver. 2nd down and 9 from the 43 of FAU. Still haven't seen Brown involved on this drive. Let's see what they do here. They are going to hand it to him. He kind of stutters, though, and gets caught up and loses 3. That was a little bit of a delayed handoff by the quarterback. It looked a little bit sloppy. Brown trying to get open, can't find the open lane, and 44 passing attempts for Hunter today. And look at, like, FAU is going to punt this one away deep in their own territory. Brown hyping this crowd up. Maybe he can break something here. He has 2 rushing touchdowns today, 1 rushing touchdown in his first start, so already 3 touchdowns. And he muffs that one. He jumps on top of it. The punt returns, he's notorious for muffing, so, I mean, you might have to think about that if you're the Tigers. Maybe you don't keep him in at punt return. He's great at kick returning, though. Man in motion. A little bit of play action. Brown looking to keep those blocks up and deep into Florida Atlantic territory down at the 26. 45 passing attempts for Hunter today. That's insane. First down and 10, man in motion. What are they doing here? Looking to keep it with Brown on the ground. Brown's going to steamroll a guy down to the 10, 13-yard carry. 8 carries, 27 yards, averaging about 3.5 yards a carry. I mean, that is production that you would like to see from your halfback. Just so confused as to why they're not giving it to Brown any more than that. 8 carries, he's got more receptions than carries, and he is the halfback. A little bit of option, and that's going to go for only 1 yard. This team likes the option run, and I mean, Brown isn't really an option back, so I don't even know why he's getting the start here. And quarterback keeps it again, finds 9, 3rd and inches. 3rd down and inches. I mean, Brown's been successful just running it up the nose. I just don't know what you're going to do here. And it looks like the quarterback's going to keep it and walk in with Brown leading the blocking effort. And they're going to go for 2 to make this a 17-point game. I guess it makes sense. Let's see if they get this. This would be a 3-score game instead of a 2-score game. And, ooh, completed last second. They get it, 34-17. Florida Atlantic had 24 unanswered points. They finally score back to try to come back within 10. And, I mean, if you are the Tigers, you have to be running the ball this last minute. Florida Atlantic's going to go for the onside kick. Looks like Auburn's changing formation up here. Now, if you get this onside kick, if you are Auburn, you have to stick it on the ground. Nothing fancy, I would say, too. You don't want to lose this game, a game that you should win. And there it is, Auburn gets it. Now, this might be an opportunity for Brown to get 5 or so carries. We'll have to see what he can do with these carries that he's gifted here with his team having the lead. And he's chased from behind, but he still gets 4. FAU used a timeout. They're definitely going to try to keep it on the ground here. And like I'd suggest not getting fancy so that we can expect some runs up the middle. And I mean, FAU's definitely suspecting that as well. So let's see how successful Brown can be against a run defense. That's 9 yards up the middle. I don't know why this kid doesn't get the ball more often. Another halfback dive incoming. Let's see if he can get any yards here. First down and 10. They're just trying to kill this last timeout of FAU. And they do. 11 carries, 39 yards today. Not bad. He has 2 touchdowns. He had 47 yards last week. I think he'd probably definitely want to match that at least. And it looks like he's going to beat it. A big carry of 17 yards. And that's going to give him 56 yards. But it looks like he's hurt. He's grabbing his left or right shoulder there. And I guess that's probably how the game's going to end for Brown. Big carry of 17 yards. They get in and score more. Auburn gets the win here. Brown is back on the field to celebrate with the team. He had some great plays, especially that 17-yarder at the end. That really broke things open for his team. But, man, it hurts to see him go down like that, holding that right shoulder. But he's on the field. He is the player of the game. 9 receptions, 104 yards, 56 yards on the ground, 160 yards of total offense for James Brown. 56 yards of rushing, his best running attempt, or best rushing performance, I'd say, of his 2 starts. Averaging 4.6 yards a carry. That is really, really good running. 2 touchdowns as well. And then on the receiving side of things, 9 receptions. Didn't have any in the second half. A little disappointing. 104 yards, though, receiving. 160 yards total for Brown. But this is where we're going to end today's episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications if you're new. And until next time, peace out.